All right. So, Faye Sensei, I don't know if we were ever prepared for this moment in our lives. I don't know if 10 years ago you would have told me this. One, I would have said, who are the people you're talking about? One, I would have said, who is Jake Paul? And
Facts.
two, I would have said, you're out of your mind. But it's official.
Disney kid.
As of today, the Disney kid himself, Jake Paul, is taking on possibly the greatest fighter of all time, Anderson the Spider Silva. It's official, October 29th in Phoenix, Arizona. And before we even get into the fight, Breakdown fans, I think I'm going to provide you with an exclusive. Sensei and I have been talking about it. We're going to figure out if Sensei can come, but I will be there in person during fight week, son.
That's amazing.
I'm going to be there
Amazing.
for you guys. We're going to do some breakdown content. Hopefully Sensei can come too. We're still working on that.
Yes.
But
Work on that one.
thoughts on this fight, man?
First of all, major W for Jake.
Thank you, by the way, because
Major W.
let's just get this out of the way now. I'm going to go on a bit of a rant. It's a major W for Jake. I cannot stand, and I love Twitter, I cannot stand people saying, oh, here he goes, fighting another 47-year-old, the retired MMA. Why won't he just fight a boxer? Are you out of your fucking minds? Let me just say
It's
this.
Anderson Silva, bro.
It's Anderson Silva. All the people, and we already talked about this, all the people that you people on Twitter would say, Jake should fight this boxer, that boxer. Every name that you would bring up either is a heavyweight, is far too experienced for Jake at this moment, or Anderson Silva would beat them at 47. Yeah. So I'm frustrated by that. But, yes, this is a massive dub for Jake. It's a next step up. Yeah, your thoughts, man.
Yeah, also, what was I going to say? Obviously, it's a major W for Jake. But I'll also, the way that he's going about it, he seems to be pretty self-aware that he's been super respectful
Very
about
respectful
it. It's none of that.
Yeah.
And for Jake, I know that a part of the story is that, like, he was, like, a huge Anderson Silva fan growing up.
Did you see the picture?
Like, huge fan.
There's a picture out right now.
Yes.
There's a picture out, and there was a tweet from 2012. It's like, oh, do you remember when we met outside of the Jiffy Lube? We'll put the picture up here. Apparently, they met when Jake was like a child, and he was like a legitimate, like, this is my favorite fighter of all time. This is one of those, where your idols become your rivals type moments, legitimately. And I think that makes
part
it even
of it
cooler.
is so sick.
Yeah.
To be able to secure a fight with Anderson Silva, number one, period.
Huge.
But like the way that he's doing it, oh man,
it's
just
only a W.
It's a major W.
Has to be.
Yeah, it's not like he's trying to do something like take like a like the Ben Askren one.
Right, and he's doing a little bit of like, I'm gonna exterminate the spider, but outside of that, it's all respect. Like, yes, Jake's going to sell the fight, and I'm sure he'll have some things to say in the press conference on Monday. But for the most part, this is a fight that I can accept that Jake is not the terrible guy, that Jake is not like the hated, bitter enemy. I don't need that from him this time. And really, I don't need it ever, but I know a lot of people do. But this one is...
And this fight's... The reason this is so interesting is because it scares the crap out of me, bro.
Because it's dangerous. Jake, no matter what you want to say about him, is dangerous.
And it's because of Anderson. Anderson, ever since Weidman, bro.
I know.
He has, how do I say this? He has lost a spidey sense or two, bro, over the years. You know what I'm saying?
His spidey sense is no longer tingling. It's just a light buzz.
And, when he gets to play in that game
and
that he always
the thing.
plays.
That's it. Anderson is always playing games. He is always...
And
even
all it takes is one time for him to play the game.
I know. This is why we say it's scary, because Anderson fights with his hands down almost exclusively. And everyone that fights with their hands down, Roy Jones had the same problem as he got older. It comes back to bite you. Not a spider bite, not a black widow, but it will get you. And again, yes, if you want to talk about the age, he is 47. He has lost a step or two, absolutely. And the more you do that, the more risk you give to a guy that isn't anywhere near your caliber and skill. It's not even close. But
yeah, and I think in my, like, you're asking my opinion about the fight, I think that's the only way Jake wins is if he catches him sleeping.
Yep. And he just
because Anderson's when you talk about defense, nobody Jake has fought is even close to his upper body education in terms of head movement, feinting,
anticipation,
his ability to retreat properly, his feinting, his in and out, his range as well. Because now Jake has to deal with range.
Yep.
Which he has not. He's always been the longer guy.
He's been the range setter, yeah.
So now you have to go against Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
You know? And I think, like, Jake has the power to, like, even later in the fight. They look tired, and Anderson goes like this. And then, boom.
Yeah.
You know, and Jake does have the sneaky thing. You know, like, you see the sparring footage.
Comes out of nowhere with that right hand sometimes.
He'll purposely create a little lull like he did with Tyron Woodley, like, oh, taking a break here. Maybe we're just going to clinch again, and bang. You know?
Have one of these over the top. And, bro,
but that's the only way I think he wins.
No, I agree. Jake has to knock him out. The craziest thing about it is sometimes my man's, like, his signature punch, sometimes my man don't even be looking. He throws no-look right hands, dude. Like, oh, my shoe's untied. Over the top, bro. He did it to Nate. He said, Nate, have one of these, and threw it over the top, son. So he's dangerous. Jake is dangerous. And
what I expect, though, I expect a freaking masterclass from Anderson Silva.
A masterclass, yeah. I like early predictions, Anderson schools him. But it is that big shot. And Jake will be around.
And the volume.
Yes, yeah. The volume from Anderson is going to just like tap, 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 tap. But yeah, it worries me.
He's never dealt with the volume.
No, and not the one of the most wise things as a sensei. You are a wise man, a wise elder at this point. We both are. One of the most wise things you've ever said is your analysis of the throw and follow up that Jake's never really dealt with. Right, to be able to break action and then follow Jake instead of you go I go with him. It's one of the smartest things you've ever said as far as like what Jake's biggest weakness is so far. No one's really been able to do it to him yet. And I think Anderson's going to be that guy that's going to be able to.
You know, it's like guys are usually like Chuck and Duck.
Yeah.
Like Duck and Chuck. Jake is Chuck and Duck. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The actual opposite, yeah.
You have to have really good attributes to do that against a guy like Anderson.
Yeah. Unless, like you said,
you're not going to be you're not going to be able to chuck. It'll be like Forrest Griffin all over again.
Yeah.
If you chuck and duck and go to get out, he's going to be right there, right back on you. You know, but
if Anderson falls asleep and he starts doing
your spy.
Come get some in the corner, and Jake's like,
I want to see the Anderson, the boxing Anderson, the one that we saw against Chavez, the one that we saw against Tito.
Yeah.
Tight guard.
Yeah. The one that knows he's in danger. The one that is taking his opponent seriously, right? Because the minute you don't take Jake seriously and you start to play games with him, it just takes one. Yeah, that if the hands go down and the chin goes up and he's shaking the shoulders, you might as well call at all the betting sites and say, throw every dollar I have on this next round for Jake to knock him dead.
Bro, my heart will freaking explode.
Same. And that's the reason this fight's so interesting. We don't have any official predictions yet. We got press conference and stuff coming up, but I think we'll end this video by saying Jake Paul and Anderson Silva is insane, and whether you want to believe it or not, Anderson is his biggest challenge, but on the other hand, Jake's by far fucking dangerous. How will I sit up in the nosebleeds? How will I